Okay, let's start with this practice. Last class we have a talk, and the other class we have a talk about past simple and present perfect. These are really interesting and really important structures because with these structures we can express past actions. But what we refers with past actions? ¿Qué referimos con acciones en el pasado? That we can express different experiences about ourselves, that we can express different events that have passed in the past, and also we can understand different texts that are written in past simple and present perfect, such as being historical books, such as being research articles or scientific papers, etc., etc. All you are going to need for your own purposes. Siempre es importante to take into account the past. So let's see here. It's just to remember what were the structure, the characteristics of simple past or present perfect. I would like just a review of this. Who remembers what is the difference of past simples and present perfect? Which is the main difference? Why we have two past? Why is needed to learn all of these structures? ¿Mm? ¿Alguien me puede decir cuál es la diferencia o which is the main characteristic of past simple and present perfect? Yes, remember. ¿Mm? Any volunteer or victim? No? Cecilia, please.
Good morning. In the past simple, nos referimos en specific time en la oración. En cambio, en el present perfect es como no hay un tiempo específico, no es tan importante dentro de la oración.
Exactly. Yes, perfect. You said the main difference between past simple and present perfect is the time. As your partner mentioned before, in simple past or past simple, we refer with actions that has or has happened in an exact time. If there exists a specific time, like yesterday, like in 2012, like at 6 o'clock, depending on the grade we are talking on the time, dependiendo del grado del tiempo que estamos hablando. It can be minutes, it can be hours, it can be days, it can be months, it can be weeks, etc., or different words that are related with time expressions. What happened with present perfect? As your partner mentioned before, present perfect refers to actions that happened in the past. But the difference here is that we do not express exact time. We don't express any specific time, such as be a year, such as be any expression of time we have like yesterday, last week, last month, 2 days ago. That's not permitted here when we talk about with present perfect, all right? Only with past simple, but there is only one exception when we use since this word. Give me a second. This is the only exception we have in present perfect, in which we mention a year. Es la única excepción en la que nosotros mencionamos un año, solo año. Is when and past action has happened before, but that action is still continuing until now, the present, such as be, it can be, she worked, she has worked here since 2020. So in this kind of sentences, we can express here with the present perfect, only with this. Why? Because we are expressing an action in the past and this action is continued until now. Like she has worked here since 2020. That means that now she is still working here. Que esta persona sigue y aún está trabajando aquí. So this is the only exception we have in present perfect because we are not referring to an action that ended in the past. No estamos hablando de una acción que ha terminado en el pasado. We are talking about only an action that happened in the past and is continued until the present. Nothing else. Okay? So let's review this one. Here we have different questions about what is simple past and present perfect. So please, I would like your help in order to remember and review all of these structures. Important. When you are going to fill different of this, what is fill? Completar or choose in this case. Yes, we have different options. It's important that you look by the context. What is the context? Context is all that is around of one specific thing. El contexto es todo aquello que tenemos alrededor de una cosa específica y it will help us to understand what is going on without look the specific thing. Nos va a ayudar a entender qué es lo que está pasando o cuáles son los detalles que tenemos sin que nosotros miremos primero la respuesta, porque eso es lo primero que la mayoría hace, ¿no? Ve multiple choices, answers, and the person is focused on the answers, but it's not focused too much in what it says here. Look at this. It's really important to take into account different time expressions. So let's complete these 10 sentences. We have to choose. We have chosen options, and then we are going to see if we are right or we are wrong in some ways. Okay? So please, I think we have enough sentences for all of us. So, Alejandro Condori, good morning, please. Number one, could you read the sentence? And if you can do it in that time, you can choose it. But please, read the sentence.
Okay, for me is how you finish.
Okay, so read all the sentence.
How you finish painting the bedroom yet? Not yet. I'll finish it tomorrow.
Okay, so we are going to see later. Number two, please. Um, I'm taking into account people who cannot talk because of the signal, because any technical issue. But don't worry, please try to fix that. Laura Maciel, please. Number two. Laura Maciel.
Uh, uh, did I sorry, I don't didn't didn't earn much last year, but uh, I earned a lot this year. I know, teacher, I think that it's happening. I've
Okay,
earned a lot this year.
okay, we are going to see it later. Um, where's my list here? Carla, please. Number three.
Um, it would be, did you have a holiday recently?
Okay, we are going to see. Thank you. I'm sorry, I have my list here, but it doesn't appear to me. Betsabe, please. Number four.
Uh, we arrived last week and we have been here for 5 days.
Okay, thank you. Carlos Abdul, please. Number five.
Mr. Barnes is very important. in this company. He has worked here for 30 years.
Excellent. Then other volunteer, number 6. Marcela, please.
He loves gardening. He has been a gardener for all his life.
Okay. Number 7. Cristel Mojericona. Number 7, please. Okay. Estrella, maybe. Number 7, please.
Have you any like before?
Okay. Have you seen anything like this before? Number 8, please. Alejandra, no. Laura Maciel. Number 8.
Yes, teacher. This is the most delicious dish I have ever eaten.
Okay. Perfect. Carla, number 9, please.
Mm, it will be I have never seen him behave like this before.
Okay. And number 10, the last one. Cecilia, please.
My mother has grown up in Scotland.
Okay. So let's check it. Yes. What happened with number 3? I think and 10. Let's see it. Number 3, it says, did you have in which a holiday recently? In this case, the correct answer was have you had, in which we use for present perfect with recently. Do you remember we have different words in which it indicates some time? And recently is like mention that it happens in the moment. For example, during the day, I can mention recently like in the morning, in the afternoon, even though if it is considered as inspecific, but it also gives us to us the meaning of that the time is nearest to the action that has happened in the past. Okay? And the last one, number 1, everything is clear here. And then, my mother has grew up in Scotland. Why? Past simple, we use in this case when we mention different things that happen and finish in the past. When we talk about grew up, that is a verb that means that que una persona ha crecido en tal lugar, no crecido de manera física, we refer that the time that this person has grew up in this place. Okay? So yeah, that will be all. There are some words that it is important to consider when we talk about time expressions. But anyways, we did it almost all great. All right? So now we are going to practice like in speaking. When we are going to use simple past and past perfect, it's really important because when we are going to have different exams, different tests like TOEFL, EFL, etc., or Cambridge, Michigan, I'm sorry. We are going to have different, oh my gosh, I cannot we are going to have different activities, different sections in which you will be evaluated. And one of them is really important, that is the speaking part. In the speaking part, there is always 3 sections, at least as I know, 3 or 4 sections. The first sections, that is one person that is going to talk about its own experience, and the person who is interviewing this person. The second one is when 2 persons that are evaluated are going to have a dialogue. The other is when we are like in a group, like 3 or 4 people, and you are going to have a discussion according to any topic. We can talk about a sport, and you have it prepared with all the information about the sport. So speaking is an important way in which we can express everything what we want to talk. Is the most hard place? I don't think so. The most hard place is used to be what it's called grammar, because we catch up different things. For example, some words in grammar does mean other things that have other function, but in some cases it's okay, in some cases it's not okay. Other ones that in both cases can be okay. So it's quite relative. Okay. So here we have a practice that you are going to answer some questions in pairs. I will create some rooms. I'll create the rooms and you will choose any room you can enter. Okay? Please be the leader. What it means to be the leader? That have the initiative to talk. Don't let your partner there and you there and nothing else happen. The only thing that happens is the time is passing. So please take advantage and talk with your partner. Always. If your partner is not talking, so let's do it. You talk. You say, okay, let's practice. I have here. This is the first part. Okay? It's a pair work. That means you have to be both. Two people. Okay? First, answer and interact in pairs the following questions. Of course, we are not going to have enough time because we have to take into account our topic advance today, but you're going to choose only 2 of these questions. Only 2 of these questions, not all the questions. Van a escoger solo 2 preguntas. Incluso, digamos, si solo una pregunta y de ahí ustedes ven que sale mucha información, so only 1 question. Y si la persona solo dice, yes, I have, no, I haven't, no te dice mucho. That's why in this case, I formulate, how do you say hello? If the person say, have you ever met someone from another country? If the person say to you, yes, I have, that not say something. In a real talk, we do not say yes, no. It's like so plain in this case. So I add, how do you say hello? Tell us, how did you say hello? Did it kiss? Did it shake your hands? How? Or maybe in this case, have you talked to an old friend recently? What did you talk about? So maybe the person is going to say, I haven't. But you can ask again and you can say, but suppose if you talk to an old friend, suppositions, then not only say no, yes. It looks so, it's not like a real talk. Even a robot nowadays, like IA, for example, I know it's not a robot, but actually it has some feelings at the moment to interact. So it's difficult to say you act like a robot. No, it's simple like we don't say nothing. We just say no. See, even though when it's direct question, yeah, but in this case, no. You have to interact. Try to practice simple past, present perfect, and all the vocabulary we know until now. Okay? What else? Let's read the question in order maybe you have some doubts of some words. Okay? Have you ever met someone from another country? Meet is the verb to conocer. En este caso, conocer o también encontrarse. Okay? How do you say hello? Hey, como ustedes dicen o como ustedes dicen hola. Have you ever talked to an old friend recently? What did you talk about? Have you ever tried an strange or different food? Strange significa un raro, diferente, fuera de lo normal. Have you ever taken a tour in your city? What did you see? I think that is clear. Have you ever gotten lost in a new place? What happened? Gotten lost means like perdido, ¿ok? Perdido o te has desviado o Sí, esos dos significados we can have. Okay, so please, I would like just one person, please. I'm not sure who. Carlos Arturo, please. In the meantime, can you take a screenshot and send to the WhatsApp group, please? And now see, Carla.
Yes, I thought that we have to speak now.
Ah, no. I will create the rooms. But this image, please. Carlos, ¿podrías sacarle un screenshot? ¿Estás con la posibilidad?
Ya está, ya lo mandé.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so there you have the screenshot in the WhatsApp group, and I will create your rooms. In this case, it will be from 2 people. And now,
Sorry to cheer. We have to write our partner's response or nothing. Just
very few do, because the next activity, you will give me a report of your partner. Okay?
okay. Thank you.
Okay, so better if you do it in this way.
I have a question.
Yes?
In which part of the portfolio we write the answers?
No, this is from class activity. You will have other activities for your homework because this is unit 2 still. That's why this week you didn't have homework, okay? Only your vocabulary yet you must do it. Give me a second, great. Okay. So, there you have it. I'm not sure if you have already, but please join to any room. It's just for 2 people. Only 2 people. Okay? So the ones who do not join, I will assign to you. Okay? Please participate. I will control for your. Are we going to have time? No. I think we are going to have 15 minutes because you have to talk, and please try to take important notes because that's going to help you. So join to any room or I will assign to you.
Teacher, good morning.
Good morning, Liz.
I'm sorry, teacher, I am late. Teacher, tuve un
Yes,
problemita, no pude entrar más antes.
I noticed, don't worry. Okay, what is the activity? Te debe llegar tal vez una invitación. Bueno, la actividad en este caso es responder estas preguntitas. Bueno, elegir dos preguntas, no mucho. Ya,
Okay,
elegiste en uno de los rooms, cualquiera que está. Ahorita, room number one, ya están dos estudiantes, así que room two, lo propio. En el room three, te haría el favor que te vayas al room three, ahorita te voy a asignar,
okay, teacher.
Liz, room three y empiecen a hablar, ¿ok?
Okay, teacher. Thank you,
Dale,
gracias.
aquí, ok. Betsabe,
Teacher, se salió de la reunión del room. ¿Me puede volver a invitar?
claro que sí. En este caso te voy a dejar, a ver, ya. Va a haber un grupo de tres. Te vas a ir al room 5, ¿ya? Vas a empezar a hablar porque me parece que nadie está hablando.
Ah,
Ahí estás. Listo.
Estrella, ¿estás por ahí?
¿Están por ahí, Liz? ¿Estrella?
Creo
Mm,
que no, teacher.
No. Okay. So let's see. Give me a second. You are in Roman number 3, yeah?
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Hi,
Teacher,
Cecilia. Cecilia.
sí, si terminamos, tenemos que seguir hablando o
You ask one question or two?
two.
Two. Okay, you can continue one more time, okay? Somos your partner
Ok,
de Ciencia han unido. Okay.
ok. Ángeles Carlo
Sí,
nos ha indicado que podemos continuar con otra pregunta cada uno.
a ver, entonces, ¿te pregunto yo?
Sí,
Ever tried strange or different food? What was it?
Okay, so let's wait for your partners. Deben seguir. De tantos segundos nos dice. So, how is it going? How was your interaction? Did your partner help or not?
Yes.
Yes? Everything go well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Some of your partners entered late and they were like, what do we have to do? And I'm like, ah, all right. So let's wait for your partners. I think they are joining to us. So I think you have information. I don't know if you have too much information or not too much, too little information as well. Now we are going to talk about that information you have, but not that information is not yours. It's information you learn thanks to your partner. Okay, it's new information. So something important at the moment we are talking to when we are going to have different reports, like it's information that I didn't set, but I listen to someone and I know that information. How we can do a report in this case? A report implies not only to answer yes and travel, yes, or she travel. No, a report implies that we have the information. Like in this case, we have the answer. Have you ever been in a very big city? What was it like? And I can say, yes, I have. I've been in New York City. It was very busy and exciting. You have never seen so many people and tall buildings before. So look at this. This is how maybe your partner answered to you. It can be short, it can be long, it's okay. But when we talk about a report, many things change when we are talking. Muchas cosas cambian, such as business structure. For example, here, yes, I have. We have talked about her students, my friend changed her school. She studies in a new place now. And then the answer in this case, how you are going to report to me? Always talking in she or he. Yes, she has. Her old friend has changed her school. She studies in a new place now. You can use simple past, simple press, simple present as well, present perfect, present continuous if it is needed. Okay, so that's the report. In the report, many structures change. Not mountain. Yes, I have. That's what you listen. And how you're going to tell it? Yes, she has. Okay? So take that into account. And in English, this part in English because we have a Spanish version for explanation or grammatical sessions. Okay? So let's see. Do I have here any volunteer who would like to tell me about her or his partner? Of course, better if you tell me first the name in order that I can ask also your partner. So please, who would like to start? A victim? Betsabe. Oh, Marcela, please.
Yes, teacher. My partner was Carla Trigo.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So
please, Marcela, could you tell me which question did you choose? Which question? That's the first thing I would like to know.
we ask each other the 5 questions. So I can choose the third.
Okay, perfect. Could you tell me what it says Carla Trigo for about
Um,
that she has ever
okay.
tried and switch or different foods?
She said that she tried an strange food. She tried Chinese food like noodles. She tried in Peru, and also she said that she didn't like this type of food, and she don't like this, so she never would like to try it again.
Okay, thank you so much, Marcela. And so, Carla, please, could you tell me any question that you asked to Marcela? Which question?
The first one, have you ever met someone from another country and how do you say hello?
Okay,
And
so what did it tell you?
she said, mm, yes, she has met some some Chinese persons, and also they they said Nija to her.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So, perfect, you're doing great. Something I could realize that you respect all of the structure that is needed. Simple past and present perfect. Yes, both can be used in past, but also always be careful with the time. Better if you don't mention the time. Time used to be mentioned when it's needed or when it's important. But you're doing great. Thank you so much, Marcela and Carla. I could see that you were working a lot, and that's okay. That will help you to improve your English skills. So now, Betsabe, hi. How was with your partner? Who were your partner? Betsabe, I cannot listen to you. Yes, maybe some technical problem, Betsabe.
She was with me.
Okay, Carlos, so please, let's start with Carlos. Betsabe, you have some technical problems, right?
Uh, uh, when we have into meeting, no,
All
but
right, something
now
going on.
yes.
Okay, so Carlos, please, in the meantime, tell me which question did you ask to Betsabe?
Have you ever met someone? The first.
Okay, and what did
Uh,
she said about it?
Su respuesta o la mía.
Uh, her answer, su respuesta.
Okay. She met a German guy, but he, but they, o sea, ellos no se pudieron comunicar, no sé cómo decir.
Okay, they couldn't communicate as they wanted. They couldn't communicate.
Okay,
They couldn't.
they could communicate in German. They speak in English anytime, all time.
Okay, so some communication problems. We have different. Maybe we're in the speaking part more later on. We're going to talk about communication because communication implies many things. It's not only ask and answer, but also implies to different aspects that are barriers of communication, and one of them is the language. That's why it's important. Many people think that okay, learn English, travel to the country, and bye bye Bolivia, hello my new life. But to learn a new language, it's really important as you read books, as important as you gain experience, as important of any activity or academic activity that help you to understand the world. Okay, so we are going to talk about different barriers that can be dealt and how we can also deal with those. So, Betsabe, are you ready? No, I don't think so. Okay, maybe the signal, something going on. Liz Ramos, please. Could you have communication with your partner?
Teacher, yes, a little time
A little.
because yes, um, maybe the first question.
Yes, or maybe yes. I could see that you have some problems at the moment. Yeah, sometimes the time is not enough. So in this case, for this case, I will ask to you. You will answer to me. Okay? It's okay
Okay, teacher.
because with the time, I don't think you have enough information. So which one? Oh, this one. It's beautiful. Have you ever taken a tour in your city where you are living now? If so, what did you see? Les Ramos, I asked to you. Have you ever
Yes,
taken a tour in your city? If so, what did you see?
in my city.
Yes, in
Yes,
your own city.
yes. in La Paz, there is touribus,
Yes, yes.
a red bus that um, I I take that bus. I take that bus, and eh, as I saw many mm, places lugares turísticos, and for example, uh, we started in La Obelisco and mm, Plaza Murillo and Miraflores and Sopocachi and mm, yes, and back uh, volvimos al centro. Yes, I remembered that. And
Okay. Thank you so much.
and teacher, the cost, the tour is was ay, ¿cuánto era? $15 Bolivianos.
15 Bolivians.
Yes, I
Oh
remember
my
that.
God. The tourist ones that I visited, it was more than 200. Oh my gosh. Okay. So she told us that yes, she have taken a tour in her city, like in here, that is La Paz. And also she tell us, what else she tell us? She has was in the we have the touristic bus here, that is the red one with two places, okay? And she was there and she went for, we can say, all La Paz City, okay? Or the most common ones. Because for some tourists, to travel in or to visit the La Paz City is like to be in a historical event. Because Sopocachi is not the same as Miraflores, or as Miraflores is the center of La Paz City. So thank you so much, Liz Ramo. Nice to see it. And I think it's an interesting topic because if you have a friend that is not from Bolivia, think just in this case, which places you can uh, you can guide to that friend. Which places do you recommend to visit? So this is important. When I was in university, I didn't have enough, didn't give importance to that. But when I started having different friends from other country, I started to thinking, which place is adequate for my friend? Which place I can recommend to my friend? It's not like say, oh, okay, go to Mayasa. But in Mayasa, what my friend can see about La Paz City. So think about that. It's something important because I'm pretty sure you will have, or maybe you have already friends that are from other countries. But think which places you can guide to that person, which place you know the most about historical issues, something interesting. Maybe this place has beautiful views. The tourists are really curious, always really curious. Thank you so much, Liz. So I take into account Alejandro Condori. Which was who was your partner?
My partner was is Laura.
Laura, okay. So please tell me, which question did you ask to Laura?
One question was, have you ever tried a strange or different foods? Yes, uh, she has tried strange food. It was lasagna. Uh, she liked it. Uh, I don't remember good. That's all, teacher. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, don't worry. It's okay. But you talk. That's important that you talk. Okay? So, there is any volunteer who would like to tell me about any of these questions? We are going to talk about our topic because today we have a reading session comprehension and new vocabulary as well. Any volunteer or no volunteers? Because even though I will give you, but in this case, you will express everything. No volunteers? Okay. Anyway, this presentation will be in your classroom. If you one day, I don't know, you wake up and say, "Oh, let's answer some questions." All right. So, well, I will give you homework, but the homework will be in classroom. Okay? Don't worry. It will be for writing and listening part, and of course, your vocabulary must be worked. The grammar part you already did it, so don't worry. What I want to say with this. Okay, give me a second. Okay. When we talk about writing, it's a pretty interesting skill, quite different to speaking. In speaking, we can use different way to escapes, like muletillas, we know it. And that's okay, because it helps us to communicate. But when we talk about writing, we have different kind of structures to follow, such as the introduction, introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay? So, when we talk about writing, we have all of these different aspects: introduction, body, and conclusion. Something recommended at the moment we write anything is that at least any paragraph must have in its own composition 3 to 4 sentences. And now, if the sentence is too long, si hay una oración que es muy larga, o dos oraciones son muy largas, only recommended two sentences. If it is long, it's not always like says, it's always 3 or 4 sentences, so that's must to fix in that paragraph. Not exactly. What we goes to this. An introduction, or any paragraph in this case, must be completed with 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines. Is needed more? Yes. But what happens if we give too much lines to a paragraph? If we give too much lines to a paragraph, it refers that the body have to have the same amount of lines in a text. Es decir, que el cuerpo o el desarrollo tiene que tener la misma cantidad de palabras, la misma cantidad de oraciones. Or more or less. But not to like, I have my paragraph or 7 lines and my next paragraph will be only 2 lines. That's not go to the concordancy on writing. So when you're going to do your writing, I will give you instructions as well and a picture explaining how you can write in English. Because you are in here, I could see B1, okay? B1. Some of you A2, B1. That's why I say only 4 lines, it's okay. If you want to explain more, it's okay. There is no problem. But that's your goal. Este es your meta. 3 or 4 lines, it's okay. In these 3 or 4 lines can be 3 or 4 simple sentences like I have been in New York. That's a short sentence. It's not too complex. But if the sentence is too long, well, maybe to consider like 1 sentence until here, two sentences here, okay? So be careful with that. And now, what we talk about in introduction. In introduction, we have different meanings. One that is for call attention. Call attention is really important in any writing area. Any writing area. If you are doing a research, well, to call attention to that research is really important. Maybe you are calling for investors. Maybe you are calling for, I don't know, for an improvement. Okay? So, call attention is important. Llamar la atención. How you can call attention? Maybe with some historical issues. Because the question I have for you is like this. Tell, no, in this case, no, it's not a tell. Write about 3 important and significant experiences that you have ever lived. Okay? Suppose that this is the topic. Write about 3 important and significant experiences that you have ever lived. So, in this case, to call attention is really important because we cannot express only, I fell down in the park and that's all. In speaking, we can say it, and that's okay. But in writing area, that is writing expression, one important skill for anything is important writing. So you start in this case telling the most important in this part, or maybe I can say, having experience or during my life, I have different experience, such as, I don't know, such as some great men, such as some, what else? Some studies cases, such as some creative ways, etc. You can mention. But the most important and the significant experience was when, and you start telling just a summary. Because introduction is for call attention. Yes, is also a summary. What is a summary? Un resumen. In introduction, it is supposed that there is a brief summary of what we are going to talk about in the body. Okay? What we can talk about in the body? In the body, we can talk about characteristics. In the body, we can talk about advantage. Is advantages. In a body, we can talk about development of the topic. In a body, we can talk about concepts, definitions from other authors if it is needed. But in this case, no, because it's personal, it's self-subjected. So, in the body, we can talk about all of this. But for your cases, development of the topic. It means here you mention, I have 3 important and significant experience that will be described later on, ¿no? Y aquí en el body, un pequeño párrafo de la primera experiencia. Puede ser detallado como también simple. Luego otro y otro. Or maybe in a body you can say only one paragraph and that's okay. And in the conclusion can be different parts. Conclusion is also a summary of everything that you have talked about, un resumen. A conclusion is also in this case a reflective part. And also in conclusion can be some questions. Some questions. Such as be, for example, there are some books in which the final part end with a question. Like we call to that an open-ended. That es un final abierto, final inconcluso o un final que tal vez se vaya a repetir. So in your case, we only need summary. Maybe a reflective part as well, like mention why were those experiences important and significant for you? You can answer that to you. And yes, those 3 important and significant experiences were really that marked my part of my life because they were in which I was scared, in which I was excited about, in which I was anything that we are going to learn today about adjective and adjective with ing, adjective with ed. Okay? So that's a summary. Les voy a dar un documento que explique esto más detallado. All right? Just to take into account. Perfect. So give me a second. Let's see. What time is it? Okay. We're going to have your break. Yes. Just give me a second. Okay. In the meantime, here is a reading comprehension. What is reading? Reading is practically to apply every structure knowledge we have and every vocabulary knowledge we have, ¿no? Es aplicar todo el conocimiento que tenemos de vocabulario, de estructura, everything that implies in reading. And this reading we know as an input skill. Why is input? Because the action of read only happens in your brain. Only happens in your brain. Why we said that read only happens in your brain, even if you speak, that implies the brain. Because we are trying to connect each word with other words in order to have a complete meaning, un significado completo. All right? So we are going to listen. Give me a second. I'm not sharing the sound in this case, but now yes. Okay. I'm sure. Well, porque me escuché. Estaba en mute. Okay, so here it says, reading. Read about greeting customs around the world. Remember, we have different read, okay? I'm listening my voice. Okay. So, in this case, we have, which greetings do you use? That's the main question you have to answer. So, let's listen and also you follow by the reading, okay? So, pay attention.
The ways we greet each other. It's a lot more than hello. It's natural to think that people all over the world greet each other in the same ways we do. However, the way people greet each other differs from country to country. Here are some greeting customs from around the world. In some countries, such as the US, a short, firm handshake while looking the other person in the eye is the traditional greeting. But in other places, such as Turkey, a tight grip isn't polite. So it's important to shake hands with a looser grip there. And don't be surprised if that handshake lasts a long time. In the US and Canada, more informal greeting customs have become common. For example, some people use a fist bump to greet friends. Men often greet each other with a hug while slapping each other on the back. Some people simply wave and say hi when greeting acquaintances. In Latin America, greeting customs depend on which country you're in. In most, men and women greet with one or more kisses on the cheek, while men shake hands or hug, depending on whether the person they're greeting is someone they already know. However, be aware that customs for kissing get very complicated from country to country, and sometimes from city to city. For example, in Paris, people give 2 kisses. In the city of Langeac to the south, it's 3. And on the French island of Corsica, they give 5. In some countries, like Italy, many people air kiss. They make a kissing sound, but the lips don't actually touch the face. In Japan, people bow. If you're greeting someone older or someone in a more senior position, for example, a boss, it's important to bow down even more. In the Philippines, you show respect to someone older by taking his or her hand and touching it to your forehead. In Thailand and India, you put the palms of your hands together and bow slightly. You can learn a lot about greeting customs before you travel abroad by doing some research online, or simply watch carefully to see what others do.
Okay, so please At the first, what did you understand of this article? It's an article. What do you understand in this article? Any idea you have about this article? Betsabe, please. Betsabe? I cannot hear you, but maybe you can write it down in the Zoom. I'm paying attention to that. And also I see your message. Okay, so any other person who would like to tell me what is the article about? What is the main idea? What does it explain? Hmm? Carla, please.
Well, I think the main idea of all these texts is about that there is a lot of ways to say hello to another person.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Carla. So that's right. The main idea is that we have different ways to greet a person. Okay? We can see that if we say, yes, we greet with a kiss. In other cultures, they have two kisses. In other cultures, they have five kisses. So any of these kind of things inform something. What else we can see in the text? Does it mention any specific culture here? Yes or not? Which cultures does it mention? Maybe Cecilia?
I um, Japanese, French, Italy, Canada, different parts of the world.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Even though a big part of the world that is in where it says Latin America as well. So, look, when we talk about greeting, in this case, we have different. This article is not only with the main, okay, I have to learn English, but also to know about culture, because English not only apply to learn American culture, is to learn everything what we can about the world is important. So, the question for you, which greetings do you use? Which are the commons? Because we cannot say, I have one meeting for or one greeting for anyone. No, we have different greetings for anyone. In my case, with my best friends, I greet with a first bump, only with a first bump. And that is used before the pandemic is it continues. So, Carla Trigo, please, could you tell me which greetings do you use, or which are the commons for you?
Well, for me, the most common that I use with all my friends is also greeting with a fist bump.
Why do you think it's, I don't know, it's like a custom, like you used to do it and that's now part of your greeting, or maybe it has some significance to you?
Yeah, it's because we got used to uh, with this greeting.
Okay,
And also because we are really close, so it's like saying that we see we see each other every day, and also because of that.
okay. And also because it's cool. Yeah, I consider it
Yeah.
cool too. Hi, how are you? And it's easy because you don't have to shake hands, you don't have to hug the person like, hey, even though sometimes we only say, hey, oh, hi, and we don't have too much contact. And that's okay. Laura, please, could you tell me, in your case, which greetings do you use?
Okay, teacher. In my case, I say hello, just that, with my friends, with people that are of my same age. But when they are old people, I think that the greeting is more formal, maybe with a shake of hands or with a air kiss, or with a kiss. But yes, they are the way that I greet. I greet. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Laura. Yes. It also we have different barriers such as being in this case the age or maybe the position, etc. Because it's not the same. For example, I used to all my friends or best friends like a first band. But when it's in some family meetings in which I don't have that relationship, but they obligate me to hug and slap to other family members. Okay, so it's something like we don't like or we like. It's like how you adapt to those greetings in that moment. I meet a person that is from rural area. In this case, Puerto Acosta in La Paz. It's such as been between Peru and La Paz is like 5 hours of travel. And there the people greet to you like kissing 3 times, like mwah, mwah, mwah. And they, when they are doing that action, they are shaking your hands with their own hands. It's like this is my own two hands, and they are like grateful that you are here, agradeciendo que estás aquí. So it's like something new. Like maybe we think that happened in Italy, that happened in Paris, but in rural areas they have their own ways to meet people. So Betsabet says it's about how people can say hello in different countries. Some places are with kiss, some with hug, and others such as Japan. Exactly. And she prefers joining palms. Yes. And what about putting the palms together and bowing in Thailand? This is very common in different cultures. And if you search for history, you will understand why they greet in this way. What do you think, Carlos Artur? Do you have any friend or maybe you see someone greeting with this way, like putting the palms together and bowing? Bowing means like that respectful.
With my friends, the most currently is the palm, the check the palms.
Take the palms. And do you, in this case, slap your backs like that one?
Uh, no, but in in my personal, in my case, I don't like this. Just palms.
Okay, it's just until there. Okay, so in this case, this is important. New vocabulary we already seen. Greeting a friend, fist bump, hug and slap. Okay, greet a friend with a wave. This is a wave because we don't have that content. Wave. Okay, a air kiss. We don't. Some people kiss you, but others no. It's like your cheek only have that contact, but you don't kiss. Okay, and putting the palms together and bowing. Okay, this has really important meaning for Thailand people and in some Asia parts as well. So, recognize main idea. Here we have choose the statement that best expresses the main idea of the article. So, some of you partners already said. So maybe you can say it here. Any other volunteer? What about Estrella or Liz? You two. Which can be the main idea? Greeting customs in USA have become less formal. You can learn a lot of on the internet about greeting customs around the world, or the ways people greet each other are different around the world. So, which of these express the main idea? Of course, we can see, yes, but we talk about this. But which one can express the whole idea of the article? So,
Teacher?
yes, Liz.
Yes, I think maybe option C, the ways people greet.
Okay, so let's see. Perfect. Do we have an adoption?
Teacher?
Okay. It's okay, it's okay. I will mention if we have other option. In this case, the main idea, the ways people greet each other are different around the world. And that's right. That's why in the article at the end, it mentions you can learn about greeting custom before you travel abroad or doing some research online or simple watch carefully. This is important to see what others do. To know the world, to know about many things, you have to be attentive to what other people's act, how other people's act, because that information, and information is experience, and experience is knowledge. Okay, so we are going to identify the supporting details. In this case, it says put the numbers of each custom in the place or places where people practice it according to the article. Support your choices with details. You have your books in your hands. Anyways, we can see the attachment here. So, the article says people bow down more when greeting older people in which? Hmm? Or do you want to read again? Yes or not? ¿Quieren leerlo de nuevo? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so let's read again. We can read and listen as well. Give me a second. It's better. So, you follow with your sight the reading.
The ways we greet each other. It's a lot more than hello. It's natural to think that people all over the world greet each other in the same ways we do. However, the way people greet each other differs from country to country. Here are some greeting customs from around the world. In some countries, such as the US, a short, firm handshake while looking the other person in the eye is the traditional greeting. But in other places, such as Turkey, a tight grip isn't polite. So it's important to shake hands with a looser grip there. And don't be surprised if that handshake lasts a long time. In the US and Canada, more informal greeting customs have become common. For example, some people use a fist bump to greet friends. Men often greet each other with a hug while slapping each other on the back. Some people simply wave and say hi when greeting acquaintances. In Latin America, greeting customs depend on which country you're in. In most, men and women greet with one or more kisses on the cheek, while men shake hands or hug, depending on whether the person they're greeting is someone they already know. However, be aware that customs for kissing get very complicated from country to country, and sometimes from city to city. For example, in Paris, people give 2 kisses. In the city of Langeac to the south, it's 3. And on the French island of Corsica, they give 5. In some countries, like Italy, many people air kiss. They make a kissing sound, but the lips don't actually touch the face. In Japan, people bow. If you're greeting someone older or someone in a more senior position, for example, a boss, it's important to bow down even more. In the Philippines, you show respect to someone older by taking his or her hand and touching it to your forehead. In Thailand and India, you put the palms of your hands together and bow slightly. You can learn a lot about greeting customs before you travel abroad by doing some research online, or simply watch carefully to see what others do.
Okay, so let's see in this case. Here, number 1, it says, there are special customs for a younger person greeting an adult person. So, which one it mentioned, number 1? Which one mentioned that there are special customs for a younger person greeting an older person? Which one? In Corsica, Thailand, Philippines, India, Switzerland, Japan, Paris, the USA or Canada, Turkey or Italy? Which one? Hmm? A special custom for a younger person greeting an older person. Hmm?
Can you go down a little bit the options, please?
Okay.
I think in Japan.
Okay. So let's put it here in Japan. Oh, sorry. Okay. I think have troubles. Okay. So Japan. Let's see it. Number 3 is already. Number 2. In addition to bowing, people do something with their hands. Which one? Thailand, Philippines, India, Switzerland, Paris, USA and Canada, Turkey,
I think Thailand.
Thailand. So let's see. Number 3 is already done. Number 4. During a handshake, people continue to grip the other person's hand for a while. During the handshake, people continue to grip the other person's hand for a while. So, which one? Which culture it mentioned? Here you have the options.
Uh,
Mhm. During a handshake, people continue to grip the other person's hand for a while. Turkey. Okay. Turkey. Number 5. People seems to be kissing, but don't actually kiss each other on the cheek. Which one? Number 5. People seems to be kissing, but don't actually kiss each other on the cheek. Number 5.
Italy.
Where do you? Italy.
Italy.
So number 6. Some newer greeting custom have become common. Some newer greeting custom have become common. Which one?
The US and Canada.
Okay, perfect. So about Philippines, what did mention? Do we have any of this? There are special customs in addition to bowing. Greeting includes more than 4 kisses. Which one mentioned? Because we have not only one, I think we have other ones. During a handshake, people continue to give the other person's hand for a while. So, does in the article mention about greeting in Philippines? Yes or not? Hmm? Let's see it. So, please, Liz, read the first paragraph. This one.
Okay, teacher. It's natural to think that people all over the world greet each other in the same ways we do. However, the way people greet each other differs from country to country. Here are some greeting customs from around the world.
Okay, Estrella, this one. Okay. Your audio is kind of has intervenience, okay? The next one, please. Marcela.
In the USA and Canada, more informal greeting customs have become common. For example, some people use a fist bump to greet friends. Men often greet each other with a hug while slapping each other on the back. Some people simply wave and say hi when greeting acquaintances.
Yes. Greeting acquaintance significa conocidos, ¿ok? Conocidos. Carlos, please. This one.
¿Carla o Carlos?
Carlos.
Okay. In Latin America, greeting customs depend on which country you're in. In most, men and women greet with one or more kisses on the cheek, while men shake hands or hug, depending on whether 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 the person they greeting is someone they already know.
Carla, please. This one. Carla, ahora sí.
Okay, however, be aware that costumes for kissing get very complicated for country to country, and sometimes from city to city. For example, in Paris, people give two kisses. In the city of Hangik to the south is three, and on the French island of Corsica, they give five. In some countries, like Italy, many people air kiss. They make a kissing sound, but the lips don't actually touch the face.
Okay, thank you. Cecilia, please. This one. Until the end.
Okay. In Japan, people bow if you're greeting someone older or someone in a more senior position. For example, a boss. It's important to bow down even more. In the Philippines, you show respect to someone older by taking his or her hands and touching into your forehead. In Thailand and India, you put the palms of your hands together and bow slightly. You can learn a lot about getting custom before you travel abroad by doing some research online or simply watch careful to see what's other too.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So, in this case, does it mention Philippines? Do you be focused on that?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
So,
Yes.
what it says about Italy? I'm sorry, Philippines. What it says? There are special customs. A greeting includes more than 4 kisses. People do something with your hands. Which one?
Option one, maybe.
Okay, so let's see. About India, does it mention something?
And true, number 2.
Okay. Switzerland, mention or no mention?
Now mention.
Okay. And what about Paris? What it says about Paris? Hmm?
Maybe
Which one?
option three.
Okay, so let's see
Or
it. Yes? Well, this is great. Excellent. So, in Thailand, it mentioned that they greet by bowing and people do something with their hands. In Philippines, there are a special custom for younger person greeting an older person. For Philippines, There are special customs for younger person as well. The age here, it matters. It's really important. In India, what it says, to bowing and people do something with the hands. Switzerland, do not mention, okay? So in Japan, as well as the age, okay? So perfect. There you have it. You're going, is your copy to your book. There you have your answers. Corsica 3, Thailand 2, Philippines 1, India 2, Switzerland don't mention, not mention, Japan 1, Paris 3, the USA and Canada 6, Turkey 4, and Italy 5. Okay? Perfect. So let's have our break before we continue with our communication activator and vocabulary. Okay? We're going to
Okay.
have 10 minutes of break. And what else? Do you have any doubt? I'm sorry.
No.
No? Okay. So 10 minutes of break. I will call you when you're going to return. Okay? Go to drink some water, eat something, and we will continue. Okay, so the turn, please. Break is over. Okay. So, continue with the topic. We are talking about sharing life experiences and different places, what happened in the past, etc. And also different ways to that we have to greet people. Here we have a communication activator in which we have to think. Tenemos que empezar a pensar in English. But what we have to think? To convert all information we already have and to try to express that in English. So in this case, let's see how it goes. Here it mentioned that we around the world, there are different countries that they have their own ways of greeting. Okay, some of them shake hands, some of them boom their booms. What else? Some of them kiss, some of them do not kiss, but it's a air kiss in which they only have a face contact with their cheeks. So we have different ways to greet around the world. But now, let's talk about the ones that we see that are in our context. Maybe some of them are used to. For example, as I mentioned before, in different cases, we have different ways to greet people. It's not the same that you are going to greet a child in this case, and comparison to your best friend. Or maybe it's not the same that you are going to greet a baby in comparison to an old person. Even the tone, even the way how we greet change. Okay? So let's see here. Here we have different ways in which we have to think about in which or how we communicate, how we say hello, and in which ways we say hello. How do you say hello when you meet someone for the first time? It mentioned that before you don't meet that person, que no lo conocías. In this case, for example, it mentioned you should shake hands. You don't have to kiss. Okay? You should shake hands and you don't have to kiss. And that's all right. So I ask now to you, or maybe you can give this information. When you greet a person who's older than you, what do you recommend? Should is like a recommendation. Es como tú deberías. Okay? So, what you said here, when you greet a person who is older than you. Carla, please.
Well, I think if he's older than me, then I think I would shake hands because for me it's like a way to show respect to another person, especially if I'm meeting that person for the first time.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Carla. Yes, and that's usual when we greet a person who is older than us. To show respect, we shake our hands. So maybe here there is other option because here there is no wrong answer. No hay una respuesta incorrecta. The only wrong answer is the silent. Okay, so when you greet a person who's older than you, there is any other or you follow the idea as Carl? We should only shake hands. Mm?
Yes, teacher, I think she'll shake hands too.
Okay, thank you, Liz. Yes, that's the most common, especially with people who is older than us. That's really, really common. Only shake hands. And what about when you greet children? Children is different because there are some people who do not talk as we talk when we greet children. Some of them, yes, because we say hi, hi. But when you see a children or a child, in this case, it's different. We do not say hello. We are not serious, or maybe we only it's like shaking, but not the hand, his head and his hair. So when you greet the children, you which greet do we use? Hmm? When you greet children, niños. ¿Mm? Marcela?
Um, maybe you should but it's fist bump.
Uh-huh.
Fist bump.
A bump. Excellent. Yes. Some of us, when we greet children, you should bump, bump. Okay? What about when good friends get together? They good friends. What happened here? Carlos? You don't know. I don't have friends. Cecilia, maybe?
I should like a hug, a strong hug.
Excellent. So it's used to, right? When good friends get together, they should hug. Even sometimes they have different palms in the back. When acquaintances see each other, they don't forget that acquaintances are son conocidos. It can be your neighbor, it can be a person that is friend of your mom, okay? It's not that we have that connection, that relation to to near as a good friend. So when acquaintances see each other, they what they do? Angeles, Carlo?
Mm, like, when, decir como hola, además es, ay, un momentito, cuando quieres saludar a otra persona, ¿verdad? Perdón, es que estoy muy cansada. Cuando quieres saludar a otra persona, ¿verdad? Entonces yo diría algo como un saludo, y si es otra persona de otro país, como hello. Gracias.
Yes. Yes. An acquaintance in here, don't forget, we already seen this. In this case, what is this? Just to remember. This one you refer a wave like this, Angeles?
¿Sí?
Okay, so wave. Don't forget, it's a wave. So Angeles mentioned that when we greet an acquaintance, when we greet an acquaintance, in this case, they wave their hands, wave their hands. Here, when you greet a colleague is someone in which you are working on, and in your work, there are different people. That is your team. That is a colleague. You have that relationship that is work. Laura Maciel, please.
You should shake hands.
Excellent. When you greet a colleague, this is really used. You shake hands, okay? Because it's like informal. It's very formal. Even though if your colleague is your friend, you have to must know that academic and friendship and other responsibilities like job responsibility are different. So we have to take into account that the behavior in not all of these phases must be different. Okay? When you greet your manager, what do you recommend here when you greet your manager? Hmm? Alejandro, please.
You greet formally, maybe with a handshake.
Excellent. With a handshake. Also is formally because it's like a manager, okay? We don't have that really near relationship that is needed as a friend or like a family member. When you meet a visitor from another country, what happened here? A visitor from another country or another city. Hmm? In this case, Cristel, you here? when you meet a visitor from another country or another city? Or any other volunteer? Laura, please.
Maybe you can say just hello or shake your hands.
Excellent. Liz, what about you?
Also, depends of country. For example,
Excellent.
well, depend. For example, um, for example, other city in Bolivia, Oruro or Potosí, uh, the great common is two kiss, two kisses, and in La Paz, the great common is one kiss, for example.
Yes, excellent. That's right. It also depends on which city, which country. But because that's right. In Oruro, in other places, they shake your hand and they give you yes or yes, two kisses. Two kisses. They kiss you. It's not like the cheeks are like have the contact face. No, they kiss you. So it also depends, okay? So it's depend on the culture. Sometimes the great happens in that time and you don't have to say no, because that's something unrespectful for some cultures. Because from them is to show respect, is to show the value that you give enough time to be with that person and to talk with that person. Okay, excellent. So look at this. Here we have another countries. Some of these greetings are really common. For example, shaking our hands, like our bones, like waving, etc. So in this case, in United Arab Emirates, we have that men often greet each other by touching noses. So let's see how our culture starts just only greeting in different ways. Some of them has meaning, yes. Some of them are just customs, yes. And that's all right. So in this case, we are in a changing area. Do you remember in the moment we only greet with our choking our elbows? ¿Alguna vez nos hemos saludado chocándonos nuestros elbow, el codito, con otras personas before pandemic situation? Yes or not? Carla, please.
No, not that I think so.
Excellent. No. And that it's a great thing that custom was custom because we cannot only in this case shake with our hands because of the health problem that has around the world or it was happened in those times. So taking into account this information, do you think any greeting customs are changing and how? How is it changed? For example, there are some friends I have, especially men friends, that do not only shake hands, they have their, I don't know, it's like, it's like a pattern of great people. It's like they shake, they do their things, okay? So, do you think any greeting customs are changing? We can change some of them? Yes or not? And why? Or how we can change? Or in which cases? Mm? Do you think so? No volunteer? Any volunteer? Yes or not? Carla, please.
Can you repeat the question, please? I didn't hear
Okay,
very well.
here it says, do you think any greeting customs are changing and how? What it means that greeting customs are changing? As language, words, actions, behaviors change around the time, ¿ok? Cambia a través del tiempo. En aquí nos dice, si los saludos también suelen cambiar. Si los saludos en este caso, algunos se cambian por situaciones, que son las customs. Supónganse, no sé, ustedes están lavando la ropa y justo viene alguien que visita la casa. ¿Cómo le saludan? Porque saben que sus manos están mojadas. Así que ahí nosotros customizamos algunos saludos porque no podemos, no sé, secarnos en ese rato, estamos en el momento y, hola, ¿no? Es diferente. So, there are other situations as well. In some health area, we cannot shake our hands in the cuando estamos en el lugar de cirugía. ¿Por qué? Porque ya todo está, en este caso, bien cuidado, ¿ok? Libre de todo lo innecesario ahí. Así que ahí no podemos tener ningún contacto físico con personas ni cosas. So, in those cases and other cases, maybe you know, do you think any greeting customs are changing? Algunos se cambia, se customiza. Customiza significa que lo adaptamos a una necesidad. If so, how? ¿Cómo? So, any volunteer? Do you think any? Carla,
I
please.
think, for example, in the pandemic, we used to shake hands, we used to kiss, but since the pandemic, I think most of the people are afraid because maybe they don't want to get sick. So I think that's like in a situation that greetings are changing, and
Excellent.
probably
Thank you so much.
they're going to keep changing in the future because we don't know in what situation in what situation we are going to be. So I think that's how greeting can change.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Carla. And that's right. Everything change. Every time change. It's not like in a country all, but also when we are with some people that we have enough confidence, greeting change. We create the workouts of greeting. Okay? So any other volunteer who would like to add any information about how greetings or how it is customs, how it is changing? Hmm? Or no? Hmm? No information. Okay, so as you could see, pandemic situation has changed almost everything. Why? It's not only because, yeah, some people started to be afraid to be sick, but also because they started to have more information about why it's important to have a cover face, why, how it can influence if you have flu, how to be in contact with a person who has flu can involve your health and the health of all your family. So this is a great example, especially pandemic situation. All right. So let's see. Here, to express everything, like to say it's okay, it's not okay, we need some adjectives. This is our participle adjective, of course. Okay. Let's remember, an adjective is a word that is going to qualify a noun in this case, but there are two ways in which we use an adjective. Can be used with ing, be careful. With this ing is not present continuous, no. In this case, it's like an adjective. Or ed, an adjective. Okay? So, in which moment we use this participle adjective? What is participle adjective? When we consider who or what. Let's listen and let's see how it goes. I will explain.
The hike was tiring. Zach is tired now.
The weather was depressing. Gina was depressed.
The dessert was disappointing. She was disappointed.
The directions were confusing. Jan and Gary were confused.
The photo was embarrassing. He was embarrassed.
The news was surprising. They were surprised.
The bear was terrifying. Carl was terrified.
The view was amazing. They were amazed.
Now listen again and repeat.
The hike was tiring.
Okay, before we go to the pronunciation part, is something important that you have to recognize. First, the hike, Zach is a person. The weather, Gina is a person. The dessert, she is a person. The direction, Jan and Mary are two people. The photo, he is a person. The news, they is a person. The beer, her is a person. And the view, and they is a person or are people. Okay? So, when you are going to use participle adjective, it's not like you are going to use. Actually, you have to understand because this is very, very useful when we are going to talk about reading, speaking, listening, writing, because we always use adjectives to express the quality of something. If I want to say, I don't know, I can say maybe the seminar was bored or the seminar is boring. So, which is correct here? We use ing in adjective to refer to things, abstract things, objects, animals, of course, general things that cannot be touched, cannot be heard, cannot be listened to, abstract things, physical things. So, ing for us as an adjective help us to express about things, object, about something. Okay? Where is my? So, adjective in this case, we have the ones who finish in ing and the ones who finish with ed. Okay? It's not that means it's in simple past. It doesn't mean that it's in present continuous. Not at all. Okay? Adjective with ing, something. With ed, someone. Okay? Clear water. So, like this, listen and repeat, and you will pronounce. Okay? So, let's see.
And repeat.
The hike was tiring.
The hike was
Zach
tiring.
is tired now.
Zach is tired now.
The weather was depressing.
The weather was depressing.
Gina was depressed.
Gina was depressed.
The dessert was disappointing.
The dessert was disappointing.
She was disappointed.
She was
The
disappointed.
directions were confusing.
The directions were confusing.
Jan and Gary were confused.
Jen and Gary were confused.
The photo was embarrassing.
The photo was embarrassing.
He was embarrassed.
He was embarrassed.
The news was surprising.
The news was surprising.
They were surprised.
They were surprised.
The bear was terrifying.
The bear was terrifying.
Carl was terrified.
Carl was terrified.
The view was amazing.
The view was amazing.
They were amazed.
They were amazed. Okay, so Liz, what does mean disappointed? Okay, Disappointed here means the dessert was disappointed. She was, um, look at the picture. Mira, cuando hablamos de disappointed, se refiere, no quiero decir la traducción como tal, pero bueno, es cuando tú esperas algo. No sé, suponte que en la imagen te muestran, no sé, suponte de los rámenes, ¿no? Te muestran que la sopita que tiene muchas cositas, que tiene, está bien servido y todo. Pero llega el momento y te sirven solo como un caldito, está frío y todo eso, ¿no? En este caso, que no estás de acuerdo con ello o que medio que te decepcionó, ¿ya? That is disappointed. Look at this. The girl expected to have a big and maybe really delicious ice cream. But when it comes, it was not so delicious. It was like a ball of ice. Okay, so that is disappointing and disappointed as well. So, what does it mean here? When we say the dessert was disappointed, we are referring to the thing, to the object. The dessert was disappointing. And when we say, the dessert was disappointed, so she, the woman, was disappointed. Was disappointed. Okay? So we use all of this vocabulary to mention about something. And this is not only with all of these adjectives you see. It happens with all the adjectives we have. Okay? What is this? Participle adjective and either ing or ed, as mentioned before. The ing form describes a cause in this case, and ed form describes an effect. But of course, you also we have to take into account this one. Ing always will describe about something, and ed to someone. All right? What it says here, we have more. Relaxing, relaxed. Boring, bored. I can say, I don't know, this sofa is relaxing. I'm relaxed. No? I can say, I don't know, this coffee is boring. So I'm bored. Exciting as well, interesting, interest. So let's see. Liz, please read the first one.
Okay, teacher. The hike was tiring. Zach is tired now.
Excellent. Carlos Arturo, the next one.
Depressing.
Oh, whole sentence. Whole sentence.
The weather was depressing.
Continue. And Gina was?
Gina was depressed. ¿Y
Excellent.
tiene su
The
forma
weather.
normal?
¿Mm?
Esta es la forma de conjugando, ¿no?
No, it's not a conjugation. No, no conjugamos aquí. Esta es la forma del adjetivo. El adjetivo tiene dos formas en este caso. No es como en el español, nuestro adjetivo es variable acorde al número, la persona, el género. Pero en aquí, esto es nuestro adjetivo para indicar ya sea la causa y el efecto. ¿Y cómo sabemos que va a ser la causa y el efecto? El efecto siempre recae en una persona, que es el someone. Así que si tú vas a usar alguna vez un adjetivo para describir a una persona, depressed, disappointed, confused. Miren que ahí donde está el patrón. Siempre se hace referencia a una persona o varias personas, pero tiene que ser persona. But with ing, ¿qué pasa? Que siempre se referencia a lo que es el efecto. Y el efecto siempre son circunstancias externas a lo que es de la persona. Por ejemplo, pueden ser cosas externas como ser the weather, que es algo abstracto para nosotros. ¿Por qué decimos abstracto o conceptual? Porque no es como que podemos sentirlo con nuestros cinco sentidos. O the desert. The desert en este caso sí es algo, pero es una cosa. Es inerte, no tiene vida. Así que por eso, con estos situaciones, ¿no? Direction, etcétera, al ser una cosa inerte y sin vida, ing. Ahora, Recuerden, tiene el mismo uso del it. Acuérdense de los animales. Cuando hablamos de animales, lo propio, nosotros los tomamos dentro de lo que es la sección de objetos. Si bien tiene vida, sí, pero ¿qué de diferencia tiene una persona a un animal? Porque las personas igual somos animales. El raciocinio, el derecho de decidir y saber qué está bien y qué está mal, ¿no? Así que, en este caso, nosotros vemos que the beer también es considerado dentro de lo que es un objeto, una cosa, ¿ya? Porque si bien podemos decir, "Ah, pero se ve, pero tiene vida, late y todo", sí, pero tienen su forma de sentir y no tienen un derecho de decidir. No es como que estés frente a un león y le digas, no me comas, ¿por qué? Está mal. No te va a hacer caso, ¿por qué? Sigue sus instintos. En comparación de nosotros, que claro, hay excepciones, pero nos diferencia eso, el raciocinio, de alguna manera, ¿ya? Así que para esas cositas, para cosas inertes, cosas sin vida, cosas abstractas, cosas físicas, usamos our adjective with ing. And when we refer to people like Zach, Gina, she, Jan, she es nuestro pronombre, ¿no? Jan, Gary, etc. All names we can have, we use the adjective with ed. Okay? So, Cecilia, please, the next one.
The desert was disappointing. She was disappointed.
Excellent. Alejandro, please, the next one.
The directions were confusing. Jan and Gary were confused.
Excellent. Ángeles Carlos, please.
¿Cuál? Discúlpame, ¿cuál?
This one. The photo.
The photo was embarrassing. He was embarrassed.
Excellent. Estrella, the next one. Okay, thank you. Laura Maciel, please. This one.
The beer was terrifying. Carl was terrified.
Okay, and finally, Carla, please.
The view was amazing. They were amazed.
Excellent. So, don't forget this. This is important for all your life that you are going to learn English. Es muy importante. Okay, so let's see. Here we have the vocabulary praxis in which says, choose the correct form of the participle adjective to complete each sentence. So let's see. This is how I'm going to erase because it's covered my screen. So, number one, it says, when their flight to Rome was cancelled, they were so. Which one is correct? Disappointing or disappointed? Which one?
Disappointed con ed.
Excellent. Number two, let's see, give me a second. I will do it in this case. Excellent. Number two, the movie we were watching last night was so. The movie we were watching last night was so.
Boring?
Boring.
Excellent. Boring because we are talking, the movie is a thing. 3. My dad was really when he couldn't remember his neighbor's name. So, which one?
Embarrassed?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. Excellent. Number 4. I want to use my new visual assistant, but the instructions are too
Confusing?
Confusing.
Confusing.
perfect. Confusing. And before we pass to the second part, look at this. They were disappointed. We are referring to a person. They. It is supposed that there are different people. The movie we were watching last night was boring. What was boring? The movie. That's why it's with ing. My dad was really embarrassed. Who was embarrassed? My dad. That was Edie. I want to use my new virtual assistant, but the instructions are too confusing. So in this case, ing because we are talking about instructions and that's considered like a thing object. So number 5. Sometimes Tracy gets because her family lives so far away. So which will be Tracy gets?
The present.
Depressed. Excellent. Number 6. We think our new teacher is really, we are learning a lot from her. So, which one?
Amazed. Edie.
Amazed. It's really amazing. Okay? We are going to talk about this. Number 7. I'm not really in traveling abroad. So, in this case,
Interested?
interested. Number 8. Tyler was when so many people came to the party.
Surprised?
Surprises. Okay, so let's talk about case number 6, in which says, we think our new teacher is really amazing. We are learning a lot of from here. In this case, what it says amazing? Because first, let's take into account that who is talking here? We. That is many people, including ourselves. Okay, so as this person is talking to about new teacher, here it doesn't mention who is, doesn't in this sentence, of course, until this period, before we have the information. We don't mention if it is a he, if it is a she. We don't mention the name. We don't mention exact. We don't have idea until this sentence. We don't have idea if this is, I don't know, an older person, young person. It doesn't give us a lot of information about who is the new teacher. We only have that concept of new teacher that is a person who has entered and is new in the institution. Nothing more. That's why we consider this like it's really amazing. They consider that it's amazing to have a new teacher because they think they are learning a lot from here. Okay? This is an interesting case. Yes, we are going to see later on different aspects of ing that cover in all of your book. Okay? So, how we can use this vocabulary into our advantage? We can personalize new vocabulary. How we personalize? Using the subject, verb to be, or adjective. Look at this. When we refer to a person, the adjective always with I, E, and D. Okay? And I'm bored when I'm amazed, when I'm embarrassed, when I'm depressed, when I'm confused, when I'm terrified, when I'm tired, when. Okay? So please don't forget all of this. For example, we can say the dessert was disappointed. She was disappointed. And you can use it as well. For example, I can say, I'm terrified when I watch horror movies. I'm terrified when I watch horror movies. So, in your case, mm, Ángeles, you choose any of these. Bored, aburrido. Amazed, sorprendido. Embarrassed, que sería en este caso avergonzado, avergonzada. Depressed, triste, bajoneada. Confused, confundido. Terrifying, aterrado. Tired, cansada, cansado. Okay? So, Ángeles, please choose any of these and give us the context. You only say, I don't know, I'm bored when, um, I don't know, in which moment we can be bored? I'm bored when I have, I don't know, in which topic I was bored. Any topic. Carla, please.
Okay. Okay. With the first one.
Okay.
I'm bored when uh, I'm bored when my mother is working, and yeah, I'm bored when my mom is working.
Okay, excellent. I'm bored when my mother is working. Excellent. What about you, Marcela?
I'm tired when I work all day.
Excellent. I'm tired when I work all day. Perfect. Cecilia?
I'm tired when I and my friend exercising in the gym.
Excellent. I'm tired when my friend and I exercises in the gym. Liz?
Okay, I tired too. I tired too when I ride a bike, but I am happy too.
Okay, so she's tired when she rides a bike, but she's okay with that. Okay, Carlos Arturo, please.
Um, I'm confused when I wake up in the morning.
So he is confused when he woke up and in the morning. Excellent. I understand you now. Okay, excellent. Angeles Carlos, please.
I'm
Carlos, I'm sorry.
I'm depressed when I watch a sad movie.
Excellent. I'm depressed when I watch a sad movie. Perfect. So, what time we have? Okay, I will call you later on the list. Here we have other activities. In order you can practice as well different ed and ing adjective, and we will see the reasons because there's not only those ones that affect and in this case the problem and effect that express ed and ing, but also it has different ways to understand these structures and different functions as well. So let's see here. Here we have different sentences, I think 10 sentences, in which we have to choose the correct answer if it is amazing or amazed. Okay, with ing or ed. So it says, choose the correct options to complete the sentence below. 1. I love skydiving. It's an feeling. Skydiving. Skydiving es cuando hay personas que desde el cielo se bajan, no sé cómo se llama ese deporte en español. Paracaídas, algo something like that.
Paracaidismo.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Liz. Paracaidism. Okay. So I love skydiving. It's an feeling. Which one is correct in this case? Which do you consider it's correct? Hmm?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay. Number 2. The robber was carrying a gun and wearing the mask of a clown. He was
Terrified.
Terrified.
terrified. Robber is ratero, ¿ya? The robber was carrying a gun, arma, and wearing a mask of a clown, tenía una máscara de un payaso, ¿ok? Number 3, she was very with him for not telling her the truth. She was very with him for not telling her the truth. Laura, please.
She was very annoyed with him for not telling her the truth.
Okay. Number 4. The students are very about the exam results. The students are very about the exam results. Which one? Scored here. Hmm? Alejandro, number 4.
The students are very disappointed about the exam results.
Okay, this one, right?
Yes, disappointed.
Okay, number 5. Estrella, my teacher is very, she speaks so slowly that we just want to sleep.
There is going, he speaks slowly that we want.
Okay, so in this case, which one you said? I'm sorry. This one or this one?
Boring.
Bert?
No.
Boring. Ok, es que no escuché bien, hay una interferencia. Number 6. This year, all the presents that I got for Christmas were very, Carla, this year, all the presents.
Yes, very disappointing.
Okay. Number 7. He is a very man. He's traveled around the world. So in this case, Marcela.
He's very interested.
Okay. Cristel, number 8. He was so to see her. She wasn't supposed to be there.
Surprised.
Okay, I wasn't surprised. Number 9. Teenagers get very when they have to speak in public. Carlos Arturo.
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. And number 10. In the photo, you can see the image of what seems to be a ghost. So, in this
Okay.
case, mhm. So let's check the answers. Okay, 2. We failed 2. What happened here? The robber was carrying a gun and wearing the mask of a clown. He was terrified. Now, you feel terrifying when something or somebody is terrifying. But in this case, he was terrifying. It's not that the robber here feels terrified, okay? It doesn't mean that. In this case, this is other function of ing and ed. When we talk about that the person is terrified, porque aquí estamos diciendo, ¿no? La persona que ha robado tal cosa estaba llevando un arma y vistiendo una máscara de payaso. Queremos decir que esta persona era terrorífica. Pero cuando decimos he was terrified, es como si dijéramos que él estaba atemorizado. But look at the logic. Does he can be terrified? The robber, this person, can be terrified? Or he is terrifying? Okay, so look, we use terrified, don't forget. When we only talk about you feel that. When we said he was terrified, it like mean that que él estaba aterrorizado. But to see in all the context, the robber can be terrified of what he is doing? No. So he looked terrifying. No? He was terrified. Later on, we are going to see the context of each one. And number 7, he is very interested man. He is traveling around the world. So don't forget that you feel interested when something or somebody is interesting. So in this case, he is interested. Es que aquí es como si estuviéramos diciendo, él está muy interesado in something. But in this case, we don't want to say with that expression. we want to say that he is very interesting, that this person es interesante. Why? Because he traveled all around the world. Okay? So, yes, that was all. Everything is okay. Anyways, when we talk about adjective with ed and ing, always has their own exceptions. It's not like one rule or one statement is going to work with all of the cases. Not. They always have their own exception. And also, this is one of the part what zero point 0.5 are points are evaluated in TOEFL and EFLTs. Why? Because ing, ed are used in different contexts. Simple past, present perfect, present continuous, past continuous, and other ones. We already see how it works ing with different prepositions and also with different words like love, like, okay? So, very important to take this into account. What else I can say about ing? It's a beautiful part to study, yes. It need too much time to explain, yes. I will send you to this in order you can see how it changes. Here you have all the explanation that you may need, okay? And there you have different exercises so you can practice. And also I will give you these exercises for you to practice in your different parts of the portfolio. All right? What else? For the next class, yes, we are going to end classes soon. Um, Please do your workbook of Unit 2. Start working in your worksheet B2. And what else? I will give you your homework for your portfolio of Unit 2. Okay? That's what you have to. And also, I will send you a link of reading comprehension. ¿Ya? Esto en español. Les voy a enviar un link de lo que son las lecturas, comprensión lectura. ¿Ustedes qué van a hacer con eso? Escribir, ¿ya? Todo aquello que tengan en cuanto a texto o párrafo lo van a escribir y van a poner éxitos con sus respuestas o con una pregunta que les voy a facilitar y ustedes van a escribir ahí. ¿Por qué? Ya están ustedes en el B1, lo que implica que tienen que ya desarrollar más allá de lo que es una oración. Si alguien de ustedes tiene algún problema, ¿puedo ser traductor? No es aconsejable, jamás es aconsejable eso, ¿ya? Pero traten de usar las palabras que ya saben, cognados que son nuestros amigos, que se escriben de la misma manera como las vemos, o algunas que se pronuncian de la misma manera, ¿ok? Les voy a mandar eso igual. Así que, ¿qué más? In the meantime, I will take a screenshot. Please smile. Esto va a estar en el grupo, please. Everyone, so 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then, what else I have for you to inform? Todo va a estar en el Classroom. Ya les voy a explicar ya cuando se suba la tarea. De todas maneras, no va a ser mucha tarea. Y eso más que todo para ver sus tiempos de ustedes. Algunos trabajan, estudian, así que no se preocupen. Ah, la lista. Esa estoy buscando ahorita. Give me a second, please. ¿Cuántos minutos tenemos? Ok. Alcanzo, porque a algunos ya les he llamado al principio. Yo les he ido anotando. A ver, vamos de todos modos. Alejandro Mauricio, si estás aquí. Ángeles, Sherlyn, Carlos, si estás aquí. Betsabe, estás aquí. Carla Daniela, estás aquí. Carlos, estás. Cecilia, estás. Cristel Mollericona, si estás. Daniel Ernesto. ¿Daniel? No. Dailin? Yes, Dailin is not here. Woman Jennifer Estrella. Yes, you're here. Joseph Gonzalez. He's not here. Karen Copacondo. Not here. Laura Maciel. Yes, you're here. Liz Andrea Ramos Guarachi. Yes, you're here. Marcela Felicia. Yes, you're here. Miley Jael Rea Solis. No, she's not here. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention and see you next Saturday. Please do your homework and do not forget, save the date. Uh, July 5th. Okay, 5 de julio will be your first test, primer examen. So, save the date, take your notes, pónganlo en grande. For that date, it won't be accepted listens, it won't be accepted cameras off, ok? Así que pueden estar con sus celulares, porque lo que necesitamos es el listening part para el audio. Como no va a haber presentación ni nada, no creo que tengan alguna molestia para ver, ok? 5 de julio, save the date. We have like 6 more classes to the first test. And don't forget, your portfolios must be completed until 28 de junio. ¿Ok? Hasta el 28 de junio, todas las actividades de portafolio que tengamos hasta ahora tienen que estar completas, ¿ya? Just to remember that han tenido una presentación que la primera clase que era como el Introduce Yourself, eso tiene que estar en el parte de writing, ¿ya? Eso no se olvide. Eso, no sé, ayer, anteayer me soñé, he dicho, les diré. Ok, thank you so much for your attention and see you next Saturday. Please, ¿tienes alguna duda?
Thank you, teacher. El primer examen 5 de junio, dijo. Perdón.
Julio.
Ah, ok. Thank you,
Julio,
teacher.
sí, 5 de julio. And then 4 de octubre, su examen, segundo examen, y al final 11 de octubre. Ok, bye. See you next Saturday.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
teacher.
Goodbye.
Bye, Cecilia. Bye, Marcela. Bye, Carla, Cristel. Bye.